Hello, welcome back to the Proper Football Podcast. We are back and we're working.
We working, brother.
So we're going to start with the EPL newscast. There was a few games today, and we're just going to run through it real quick. So Arsenal wins against Nottingham Forest 2-1. Very close game towards the end. I was hoping that Nottingham Forest could secure another goal and have a tie, but didn't work out in our favor.
That's right.
I think Arsenal sits in second now with that win. And tie from Fulham and Everton. 4-0 win for Luton against Brighton. That is a surprising result for me. Yeah, crazy.
Isn't Luton in like the last or something?
They're in 18th. Adebayo with a hat trick. Let's see, who else? We have Crystal Palace with a win against Sheffield United, 3-2. And we have a loss for Aston Villa here. Newcastle wins 3-1.
Yeah, same thing that happened pretty much in the beginning of the season where Aston Villa got spanked 5-1. So Newcastle on top against Aston Villa to get the double. And now for some upcoming games that's happening this week. At time recording, games haven't happened, but let us know your predictions or how you think the game went by the time you see this. We got Man City playing at home versus Burnley. Tough game for Burnley there, but we'll see what happens. We got Tottenham facing Brentford. Should be an interesting game. And, one game that we're looking forward to watching, Liverpool host Chelsea at Anfield. First Premier League game with some interesting news happening, and we'll get into that. Hopefully Chelsea can snag a win or a tie. West Ham host Bournemouth on Thursday, and Wolves host Man United. Should be a Portuguese brawl.
Yeah, facts. All right, so for our first segment of the day, we're going to go with Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's back. And he's back and he scores on his first game. So I actually have a fun fact here. So the last game he played was against Nottingham Forest. He scores a free kick.
Really?
And now his first game back is against Nottingham Forest and he scores a free kick.
So we're talking about at least 6 to 8 months ago. It was a free kick for the game before too?
Yeah.
Wow. Free kick menace, man. I mean, Ivan Toney, I just thought he was just another number 9, like from like a couple years ago. But now we're starting to see like this overall blend of like a complete forward. Has all these attacking traits and all these characteristics that can hurt you in any way.
I agree. Well, so for that free kick against Nottingham Forest, this game was a wild one, I'd say.
A little controversial.
Yeah. So, all right, let's just run through that because I think it's worth being said.
It's tied, right?
No, I think.
Or that's a goal.
Yeah, that's a tying goal. That's a tying goal. Yeah, that's a tying goal. So, all right, they secure a free kick. Him and Jensen, they're talking.
This is practice and the training ground before, and like you're gonna go through it, but just know this is well thought out for weeks and weeks and weeks. If we ever have the opportunity, this is what happened.
Yo, but low key, I feel like clubs that are like mid-table and probably fighting relegation, they need to practice more when it comes down to the free kicks, the corners, and all the other antics. Like this right here was crazy.
So you're saying they're not good enough to win?
I'm not saying they're not good enough to win.
I'm just joking.
They just need to, find a way to elevate their game in a way. And this is one of them. Hey, if you can do it, you can finesse it, go ahead. If you get bagged and, opposing player goes, hey, they're moving the ball, they're doing this, and the ref stops it, all right, whatever. But, hey, I mean, if you got to win, you got to win. You got to find a way.
I mean, you're going to go through exactly what happened, but at the end, I want you to tell us, and I'll give my input too, what you think should have happened if it was noticed.
Okay. So, all right. So, him and Jensen, they're politicking. So, all right. The ref is distracted. He already put the phone, the walls over there in place. Hudson-Odoi's on the side. I don't understand why he didn't join the wall. He should have seen that. There was a gap right there when
At the end
Ivan
of the day,
Toney moved the ball.
That's the goalie's
Yeah,
job.
that's the goalie's job too.
That's the goalie's job, right?
But even as a player, I'm gonna be honest with you. If my goalie set up the wall already and Ivan Toney moved the ball, you gotta see how the angles are.
Right.
I would see that and I would just jump on the wall without my goalie saying, "Hey, go in there." Because if he's in there, you're breaking that angle. You know, because when Ivan Toney shot the ball, Hudson Odoi stuck out his leg a bit. He would have been in the wall. He wouldn't have to do that.
That's a good point because how many times that we don't see it so much now, but back in the day where you'd have a man on the line with the goalie just to cover that post, and then all of a sudden that guy takes an initiative based on what's going on to come out and go mark someone, or come out and go down the wall to make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good point.
So a lot of it for me comes down to awareness and good judgment. So, all right, Toney finesses it. He moves the ball. Jensen runs to the ref, and he's already distracted, but he's talking to the ref now. So the ref is really distracted. Wipes the foam off the floor and smudges it, on the other side. Bro, goes, takes a free kick, scores the goal.
So he moves moves the ball to the right to give him a better angle, and he shoots it right around the wall with this advantage, and it sneaks right into the post.
When I seen the replay, that shit had me laughing, bro.
Because I didn't see it live. Like, I watched the game live, but I didn't see it happen live. And then they showed the replay. I said, "Oh, shoot.
Yep.
That's kind of crazy." What happened? Because I remember back in the day, David Luiz did the same thing. He scooped the foam and then made a new foam ring in a different location. And I don't know if he scored or not, but
the players probably being distracted, like they're talking to the goalkeeper, like, "Hey, he wants to go here." Go, that's when he takes the ball and he starts doing his movement. Yeah. I mean, bro, I'm not saying to cheat the game, but sometimes it happens. Some players, waste time. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
Coaches probably want you to waste time. You know what I'm saying?
Injuries.
Exactly. That's why we have all this, extra, time coming around now.
Which is stuff that we're trying to get rid of. We're not saying go and do it, but sometimes in your moments of decisions where your destiny is created in a sense of
it's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
About, but he's doing what he needs to do. His team is kind of lacking.
Yeah.
With a lot of players out, injury, and out on different tournaments. He's stepping up and doing what he needs to do.
Hell yeah. You got I think Thomas Frank is very happy to have him back. He really wanted him to come to Brentford before he arrived. He adds a lot of attacking power up top. He's a guy who's going to hold the ball. He might not have agility. He's not the creative guy, but he's strong. Like he can hold the ball up.
I remember like a couple of weeks ago we were talking about like a real proper number 9 forward.
Mm-hmm.
He could be that guy. He's like, he's not anyone on that level, but minus the creativity, Harry Kane, bro. Because he can come in and get the ball and lay it off. Yeah. He can come in and obviously score the penalties, score the free kicks. Aerial threat. He can get up there. Big squads could use him on his team, and he's at Brentford for now with a big price tag. But is it a possibility that he can move on even this window? It closes in the next 24 hours or so.
So I'm gonna say, I highly doubt he leaves this window. If he was to leave this window, it would have to be a fast thing. Maybe even after that game, maybe he gets approached by a team because of the performance. But 100 million pounds is a lot of money, especially for a guy that's been out for 8 months. You'd want to see him come in and, bang in a few goals and get into the groove again. I think the best option for him is staying at Brentford until the end of the season, weighs out his options. And if he wants to leave, he leaves. But then again, if he leaves to a bigger team, he could lose a little bit of quality. Like he's not the main guy anymore. He's the main guy there.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Do you think he'll be able to showcase his talents at the level that he is at Brentford? Is it because he's on a weaker squad, or is it or can he do better with better talent around him?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure.
And if so, which squads can he go to? Like,
if he was to go, I'd say Arsenal is probably the best fit for him. But then again, Jesus coming back from injury, he scores today.
Yep.
So I mean, they're two different type of players. Maybe it's good to have that in your squad. I think he can go to Arsenal, hold up the ball for Martinelli and Saka. Because those guys would be the more creative ones.
Those are the
good
guys
in the air.
Can you imagine that? Like him holding up the ball and then Martinelli and Saka flying down the wings?
Yeah.
Or even Trossard. Woo! Trossard, man, I really like that guy.
It would be a good place for him, to go to at Arsenal. I was actually watching an interview. He actually said he loves Liverpool, but he used to love watching Arsenal growing up.
So pretty much,
I think he's flirting. He's flirting a little bit.
He's playing both sides. He's like, which one of you guys want me, I don't care. I want to be dressed in red, and I'll go.
Yeah. So for me, it's definitely Arsenal. Liverpool is a big no. Not because he's not a good quality player. I just don't think he fits in our team right now. Especially we have too many
changes going on.
Changes, forwards. We have 3 guys that could play up top. If he was to come, now you're forced to maybe a guy to leave.
You really got 4 guys that can play. That can start.
4 up top?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, yeah, Mo.
Jota, Mo.
Yeah. True.
Darwin, Gakpo.
Yeah, Mo's worst case scenario, I guess. But it happens sometimes. But no, I don't think we need him. And I don't think Liverpool needs to spend money in that area right now. So.
Well, Brentford is definitely glad to have him back because they have a lot of people that's out right now.
Yeah.
They have Rico Henry who's out for the season from the first game of the season. I was so mad for my fantasy, bro. But he's out with an ACL injury. Aaron Hickey, who they bought this year to kind of fill in the gaps, who even teams like Arsenal wanted, he's out with an injury. We know Mbeumo's out with an injury. He would have been at AFCON right now anyway.
Yeah.
And Wisa, shout out to Wisa, his country Congo just advanced past
Congo. I forget who they played, but
they just advanced yesterday.
Yeah, they advanced yesterday.
Forgot
was it an extra time or
Cameroon or something? No.
No, I forget.
But
Egypt.
Oh yeah,
the penalty shootout. We watched it, bro. We watched it. Remember? Yeah.
The
goalie missed
yes,
for Egypt.
The goalie for Egypt missed. And Wisa's out there doing his thing. I think this is a perfect segue to just talk about AFCON. The African Cup of Nations going on right now. Whew.
Yeah, man.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, but definitely a good time for Ivan Toney to come back while all his teammates are gone.
Yeah.
And not even just that, the struggle that they have, they've been coming to. They haven't been doing pretty well, Brentford, and they need to start, making some noise in the EPL again. So let's go on. AFCON. How we feeling about AFCON? How happy are you about our nation?
I'm so happy, bro.
Yeah.
Cabo Verde, not top, bro.
I hear you, man.
Wow, bro. For those who don't know, if you're not watching on YouTube, you gotta watch on YouTube. This is the Cape Verdean flag. Shout out to all my Cape Verdeans, criollos, Nubai, Lariba. That's all the Creole I'm gonna have for today.
CV not top.
So I'm gonna be waving this flag this whole segment.
That's fine. Yo, I gotta say, group stage. Let's talk about the group stage. I wasn't too convinced at first. I knew we had a pretty good team, but when I seen Egypt, Ghana, I was like, this is going to be a tough one. Mozambique, not so tough.
Right.
But, they could surprise you at any given moment, They did come with 2 big ties with Egypt and Ghana in the group stage. So, Cape Verde wins the first game against Ghana.
2-1. That was a statement, bro.
Yeah.
Because Ghana is a strong team historically.
Yeah.
And, based on what I saw, Ghana came to play for the individual selves and not for the country. So that's what kind of
They have a lot of good players on paper. It just didn't make sense to me, how they didn't, do good in the group stage.
Bro, I'm telling you, they came to play individual.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my Ghanaians, but you guys didn't do good this tournament. I was expecting a lot better. But
and all my Ghanaian friends, you are over here celebrating for Cape Verde by force.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? They got knocked out already, so they gotta come on our side, because vice versa. If it was Cape Verde getting knocked out and Ghana was still going on, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna rock with my Ghanaians. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you gotta stay with us. All right.
Yo, just know that's getting clipped and put on a TikTok, reels, shorts, all that right there.
So the next game was Mozambique. That was a really big statement too, because it's a 3-0 win. Mozambique already tied with Egypt, so
they were playing to win. Like they were playing to advance because they had a shot.
Yeah.
They already did their job in not losing to Egypt. So, and we did our job not losing to Ghana more than not losing, beating Ghana.
Yeah. So and there was some incredible goals that game. Like we had one way outside the box.
Way outside.
And then he had the other one with Bebe, the free kick. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was
ambitious,
but also a bad save from the goalkeeper. I don't know what he was doing.
You can't call it a save.
Yeah,
it was a bad attempt.
Yeah.
Shout out Bebe, yo, former Man United player, Cape Verdean getting his first kind of games when he's late in his career.
31 years old, bro. 31 years old. That's when he first started playing for us.
He's putting on right now, especially in a time where we're on the up and up, and he's keeping us there.
Yeah.
But I saw in the later games he tried doing the same free kick from way out.
Yeah. I was like, when I seen that, I was like, nah, but yo, in that Mozambique game, he had another free kick that he hit the post, bro.
From that far?
No, the crossbar. Yes, fam.
Damn.
Bro, to that game. So, yo, you hit two like that, you know what I'm saying? You're probably like, yo, I'm going to go for the third.
Yeah, I remember the last game against Mauritania. Same thing. I said, nah, this guy's outrageous.
Yeah, it was a bit.
But yeah, I'll take him.
Nah, yeah.
The tie against Egypt, which we could have lost that game. We would have advanced anyway the way it was going, but Egypt had to tie to advance. And, we did our part. We, Cape Verde, ended up top of the group. So big shout out to that, getting an advantage with certain teams that we're playing. And we're gonna be facing South Africa after we just beat Mauritania. Mauritania, we just beat them 1-0. That was a tough game. Mauritania came to play, especially.
Yeah, some big chances.
Big chances.
Yeah.
And not luckily, we earned that win. Got the 1-0 win, and now we'll go off to face South Africa. So let us know in the comments your predictions, who you're supporting for the AFCON. But there's not a lot of teams left, guys. There's some big teams that's out. One big team that's still in is Cape Verde, and we'll talk about the other big ones.
Yeah. Nah, man. I'm so happy, man. Like, our country's thriving. And low-key, we are playing good football. You know, at times we're holding possession. Like, last game, we had, like 72 or 73% possession, bro. That's crazy.
Bro.
They had a lot of chances, too. I feel like, we won 1-0, but we gotta do better on scoring without having to get that PK. You know?
I think in transition, when we're going from attack into defense, we need to be more organized. We're playing unified as far as mentality and playing for each other, but we need to be a little bit more organized so we don't get countered or get caught up on the break. Yeah. That's going to be tough, especially if we struggling to score and finish, because we have the chances. But, man, proud of Cape Verde. 500,000 population. One of the smallest countries in all of Africa. So we're doing it. We're making it happen. So let's go, Cape Verde.
Yo, South Africa, huh? Bro, I was praying,
bro.
Praying that South Africa could, pull something off. And that's what they did. They secured a 2-0 win
against Morocco, a team that went to the World Cup and went to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Almost beat France.
Yeah.
With some stars like Buffon, Hakimi, Ziyech, Amrabat, Onahi. I can go on and on. I mean, Bono, the goalie. Come on, man. And knowing that we don't have to face them, nothing against South Africa, but come on, we know.
It's just that, we have a better chance, of winning the game. Even if we had to face Morocco, I think we still have a shot.
Of course.
Because look at the tournament.
Look at the teams we've beaten already. Yeah. Ghana, Egypt.
And just everyone that got knocked out already.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's anybody's tournament right now.
Literally.
Like, look, Ivory Coast is still in it, and they almost got knocked out.
not even.
And they knocked out Senegal.
Yeah, they knocked out the favorites.
Yep.
The former the champions from last tournament. Senegal. We got a team, like you said, Ivory Coast, that's just making it from third place out of nowhere. Getting lucky. We got teams. Let's go over the teams that went out. Egypt, big loss. Salah went out injured. They couldn't recover after that. They got knocked out.
Happy he's coming back to Liverpool and getting treatment.
Cameroon, they had a Boubacar injured the first game or second game. Came back, but it wasn't enough. They get knocked out. Talking about Senegal already. Who else is out?
We already spoke about Ghana.
Ghana's out. Egypt's out. There's some other big team. Algeria.
You said Tunisia too.
Tunisia, right? Ranked 28th in the world, out. Algeria didn't even make out the group. I think
Algeria that's a big disappointment. On paper, like their team is really too good to be getting knocked out.
A few months ago, Algeria and Cape Verde had a friendly, and I watched that game. And Algeria spanked us 5-1. So coming into this tournament, I was a little nervous. I was like, man, like Algeria's looking good comparing to, the friendly. Are we gonna do good in the tournament? Algeria with some of the biggest names.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yo, anybody's tournament. I'm rooting for Angola against Nigeria.
Because if we beat South Africa, we'd face the winner of Angola and Nigeria. And if Angola, man, that would be a favorable draw.
And at this point, though, too, fam, like, we made it this far. Might as well go for the whole thing.
We didn't come this far, bro. We didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yeah,
We're going all the way. We have to go all the way, bro. Come on, man.
So, shout out to Cape Verde and all my Cape Verdeans. We're very proud, and we're going to continue to be proud, and we're going to go as far as we can, and we're going to try to win this tournament, all right?
Yo, we might have to watch that thing live and record it or do something.
Maybe we just need to fly out there to Ivory Coast.
I know some people, I don't know the person, but I know there's some people out there.
Yeah.
That's like watching the games and the tournaments, and
I believe it. If I was in the area, I'd be there too.
We're second in World Cup qualifying. Can you imagine Cape Verde qualifying for the World Cup in 2026 in America?
Oh, nah,
I'll be waving a flag way bigger than this, bro.
Yeah.
Way bigger than this.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm going to paint my whole body. But thank you for tuning in on this segment. All right, with this segment, we're going to start off. It's going to be about transfers. The first transfer we're going to talk about is Jordan Henderson to Ajax.
That is. January transfer window is going to be ending in 24 to 48 hours. We get those last-minute extensions, so it really depends on what goes on. But Henderson to Ajax. First of all, I didn't see him going to Ajax. I didn't see him going anywhere in the beginning of the season because he had just left Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? And it was quite a surprise because I remember him going to Saudi with all the players that's going there. He said he's going there to grow the league and, for equal rights, for this, that, and LGBTQ and this. But 6 months turn around, were you really there for equality? Were you really there for building the league? Or were you really there for the 700,000 pounds you were making every single week?
It's hard to say, man. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but you got to put in consideration. The guy has a family. Maybe his wife didn't like the environment. His kids didn't like the environment. It's hard to adapt into a culture that you're not familiar with. At least when he goes to Netherlands, they still speak English. Yeah. So he can adapt real quick, and it's a very friendly place. Not that Saudi's not a friendly place, but different culture. They probably speak English too. I don't know. Yeah, I think it has something to do with the culture that he couldn't adapt to.
Yeah, it has to be because he's not the only one kind of looking for a move out of there, and it's not because. Yeah, I mean, I heard another thing where he was used to 50,000 fans.
Yes, that was gonna get to
every single week, and now he's sitting there watching 2,000 to 3,000 people watching him play. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could see that perspective. When you're a big time player like him, playing at Liverpool all these years, the atmosphere must have been very good for him. It was, just a great place to be at. And then you go, it's you're probably going to a high school game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the difference is it's probably a crazy change, and he just loves football and he wants to continue at a bigger club.
And at that point, he had no business leaving Liverpool. Liverpool could have used him. He was the captain. He was doing still good.
Yeah.
Went to Saudi for reasons that are unexplained at this point and leaving again.
Yeah.
And he actually wanted to move to England instead of going to like anywhere else. He really wanted to move to England, but his accountants and his lawyers were telling him, because England have this law, any money you make within 1 year of leaving England, if you move back to England within 1 year, you have to pay back in taxes 47% in his tax bracket. So he was making $700,000 a week in Saudi. So if he moved back to England within a year, which would have been 6 months later, he would have to pay $7 million in tax. I asked him about it in the press conference for Ajax. He started laughing. And then he said, "Don't believe everything you hear online." Obviously, he has to say that, but
Yeah.
Yo,
makes me wonder what's the tax bracket in Netherlands? I'm pretty sure it's pretty high too.
I don't think he has to pay because he never lived in Netherlands.
Okay.
He doesn't have to pay the Saudi money back, so it's tax free.
Okay. Then sounds like
a 6 month bag.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you could find a way to finesse the system, go ahead, you do it. Bro, it's a lot of bread.
In 6 months, 16.8
That's not normal, fam. Those are wages that even the top quality players in the Premier League that are playing for Manchester City, they're probably touching that bread for a whole year. Maybe not. Maybe they're not even still touching that.
All you gotta do is cut the 700,000 in half, which is 350, and that's what they make a year. How many players is making 350? It's only like the De Bruynes, the Salahs, the Holland.
Yeah,
handful.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was it? Most jersey sales ever?
Most jersey sales ever in Ajax history, which
kind of crazy.
Didn't even make sense to me knowing the players I used to play for Ajax, the Cruyffs, the Seedorfs, even the more recent ones, Frankie de Jong. But I'm guessing now that I think about it more, it makes sense because those are all big time players that became even bigger players once they left Ajax.
Yes.
When you're in Ajax, you're like a youth academy player and all this other stuff. But now he's already an established player, Jordan Henderson. EPL winner.
Champions League
winner. Proven footballer.
England's national player. Yeah, exactly. Yo, it's a good way you put it. That makes a lot of sense. I'm happy for him. It's a good quality club. I think he's going to go right into the starting 11. He'll probably play side by side with Kenneth Taylor. And, it's a good player to add into the team because they're in 5th place and they need to start making progress in the league because, first place is out the question right now. PSV, they're killing it.
20 points ahead of them.
But, second is a possibility. 3rd, 4th, for sure. But, yeah, they need to start making noise in the league.
Yeah, they have to make some changes because Ajax in 5th don't even make sense, bro. But I think another reason why he made this move to like an established club is so that he can maintain his spot in the English national team.
Yeah, it's not too far from England, bro.
It's not too far from England, but just playing in one of those top leagues, you have to. You can't be playing in Saudi and being expected to call.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't even tell you if Jordan Henderson played well or not in Saudi. I can't tell you. I mean, I know the team did pretty bad, like 8th or 11th place or something crazy like that. But
I agree.
It's a good move to make to see if he can make it into the English squad because I think that's something he's gonna fight for. I know the coach likes him, but he got prospect that's coming up.
Yeah, I think he's still training in the English squad, and I'm pretty sure Southgate, mentioned it many times that he wants his players playing at the highest league.
And he won't start this time. You got Bellingham, Maddison, and Declan Rice. That would be my starting 3 in the midfield. So now he has to fight for his spot.
Yeah,
on a bench.
Yeah, tough one, but happy for him going to Ajax. Always love, we could have used them still in the EPL, but it is what it is. Next transfer we have is Calvin Phillips to West Ham.
Thank God. Thank God the guy moved, man.
Yeah, if he wants to, revive his career, this was the move. He's 28 years old, man. You got to find a destination soon after this loan. maybe if West Ham doesn't buy him, he probably goes into another team, and now he can showcase, what he can do on the field. Maybe another team in the EPL comes and buys him.
I mean, yeah, there was teams that was interested in the EPL. Crystal Palace was heavily interested because they didn't have a sound defensive mid anymore. Newcastle, obviously, with the suspension of Tonali, needed someone to slot in, especially with Joe Linton out for the season.
Whoa, I didn't even know out the season.
Yeah, they said it's gonna expect longer than
what
they thought
was it?
April.
It was his knee.
Something with his knee. He just had surgery, I think, yesterday. Knee or groin? I forget. It might have been knee or groin, one of those. But they expected April to be back, but now it's looking towards end of May. But good news for Newcastle. Nick Pope is expected to come back a month early, March instead of April. But as far as Calvin Phillips, these are all teams who Juve was interested in him too, but obviously he chose West Ham and they agreed, to pay his wages. And
you think he chose West Ham, or like it really came down to like West Ham doing everything in order for him to go there? Because
to meet City's needs.
Yeah, so like say City, they're about to pay £150 for the guy every week.
$150K.
That's a lot of bread.
For West Ham especially.
Yeah.
Like, who's really making $150K a week on West Ham?
I highly doubt anybody's making that money. I'll check right now.
Bowen, I still don't think he's making that.
No way.
Ward-Prowse, probably not making that. Yeah, kudos maybe. I don't know. But either way, they're splashing the cash. And something I was thinking, I think it's a good move, but is he going to be starting every single minute of every single game? Because they did just get Alvarez and paid a fee for him in the summer to get him from Ajax, right?
Yeah.
Souček plays in a similar role. All these players that play in that role, kudos who they just got from Ajax. Damn, they got a lot of guys from Ajax. Surprised Henderson didn't go.
I'm liking the West Ham squad. They're improving as time goes, and they're adding those small additions here and there. But the only player that matches his wages is Lucas Paqueta.
Oh, shoot. That's another guy in the midfield that is going to take up one of those three spots. So,
but Paqueta's more the front guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to see Calvin Phillips be an attacking player, but do I see him in a starting lineup? It could happen. It really could happen. But Ward-Prowse for me it's a must. He has to start. So for me, it has to be Lucas Paqueta and Ward-Prowse. Yeah. Yeah, no, you can't bench Ward-Prowse. He's really that good.
Paqueta and Kudos.
Yeah, it's tough too. But Kudos could play in a lot of different positions. You could probably play him on the line if you really had to.
Where?
Kudos, like on the line, like maybe right.
But then again,
mid.
Look at that.
But then you got Bowen. Right mid.
He's playing up top now only because of an injury.
Yeah.
So if Antonio comes back.
Oh, who knows? Maybe Antonio comes back and they like Bowen up top and they try to finesse the system.
Bowen hasn't been doing good up top, bro.
Yeah.
I've been checking my fantasy and Bowen's not it up top.
I mean, some games he scores here and there, but definitely not his best position. But yeah, I think he gets game time. The whole purpose is for him to get called up to the England squad again. Yep. So
similar situation to Henderson. Like they need to go to a squad where they're gonna be able to be showing their talents.
Yeah.
And at City, obviously Calvin Phillips couldn't do it. Henderson, Saudi wasn't doing it. It's gonna be interesting. Which one of them might be cut from the England squad.
Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Very.
So interesting stuff, especially if Trent is one of the players that he wants to play in midfield instead of defense. You got Rice, either Henderson or Calvin Phillips. Now you got Alexander-Arnold, Jude Bellingham. These are all center mids.
Yep.
Gonna be interesting. Let us know what you think. Who's gonna get called up and who deserves to stay in the squad.
Yeah. Last one we're gonna talk about. It's not necessarily what was it? No, it's not an actual transfer, but it could have been a transfer, and it's Karim Benzema. Karim,
dream.
Yeah, he's not. All these guys, I feel like a lot of these guys, like, all right, let's talk about Henderson and Karim Benzema. They were in good positions, great positions. Karim Benzema had another year in his contract. Right now, Real Madrid really does need a striker.
Yeah, but I think what Ancelotti and Florentino Perez was kind of explaining to Benzema, listen, you did phenomenal for us this year and the year prior, especially. But your minutes are going to get cut down.
You think so?
I think so because
I don't think so, bro.
I think so because look what happened to Modric. They're similar age bracket.
Yeah, but it's not like they brought in a replacement for him, though. Like Modric's situation, they brought in Jude Bellingham, but Real Madrid right now, Joselu, come on, bro.
So let me ask you this: do you think?
And then they're playing with like two up top.
They're playing two up top.
That's not really their formation.
But look how well they're doing.
Yeah,
it's working.
But they're playing that formation because Jude Bellingham and all these other midfielders that they got.
It's certainly something that they had to have in the back of their mind or even practice when Benzema was hurt last year at Real Madrid to see like, we don't, because who was coming off the bench for Benzema when Benzema was there? It was nobody. You had to put Rodrigo up top.
Yep.
That's what they did. So I think it was in the back of your head, hey, listen, this guy's 35, 36 years old. This might not be the only injury. He has 1 year left on his contract. Should we pay him and just to sit and stay in a team and still play, but, not as much? Risk an injury, plummet in value, all these things. Or let Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, all these other players rise up to the occasion.
I think they would still keep Benzema if Saudi wasn't the option. Because the dude just came off from winning Ballon d'Or. You're not going to kick a dude to the curb right after winning that. He just had one of his best years ever as a player. So one more year, I don't think is going to hurt. And then on top of that, the system that they play, he works, in that system. He's been doing good for Real Madrid for countless years. But
15 years.
Yes, but you got these teams coming in trying to convince you, and it's like Casemiro when it was time for him to leave. I think Real Madrid just respect their players in a different level. Like Casemiro was just like you want to leave, okay, you can leave. It wasn't like you have to leave.
But
Benzema, same scenario. It wasn't like Benzema, you're not leaving. It's more like, all right, you want to leave, okay. You did a good service for us.
Right.
Go ahead.
But there's some conversations that happen in the back rooms that we might not be privy to because it might be like, hey, listen, you can do whatever you want. Here's what's going to happen at Real Madrid with you next year if you stay. Whatever. Reduce minutes, pay cut, whatever it is. Look at what Sergio Ramos happened, though, conversely to what you're saying. He wanted to stay. He wanted to have an extended contract even though he wasn't going to play much. And they were like, nah, 1 year contract and reduce wage or you're gone.
Yeah, but I feel like even
that was tough. Man.
His situation was a little different. I think towards the end of his career at Real Madrid, he was starting to get hurt a little bit, right?
Getting hurt, but that was more at PSG. We saw the injuries.
Yeah.
He was still playing.
Yeah. Hey, but once you reach that peak age, man, it's really hard to continue at a team like Real Madrid. Real Madrid don't really like having old players,
and that's what I'm saying. Bro.
And it's just these recent years they really been keeping a lot of these guys like Luka Modric, bro. There's no other player that I can think of that's been getting these extensions more than Modric ever did.
1 year deals.
But Modric obviously highly deserved.
Yep.
Benzema, 1 year in that contract. I don't know if they extend it after that. Maybe he goes to Lyon right after or something. Maybe he goes to Saudi after, but I don't know. It is what it is. He made that transfer and he was trying to find a way out. Chelsea and Man U was an option. They were interested, but the whole thing about being interested is just I feel like it's a word being thrown like, yeah, we're interested. But what is interest, bro?
Interest could be, hey, we have we would like you to be on our squad because you might make our squad better. We can't afford you. We don't know how we're going to get you into the squad. We don't even know if you match the playing style, but you're a big name. We're a big name too. Come on.
Yeah, so that's exactly where I'm getting at. Chelsea right now, they're in no position to go into the market unless they were to sell a player. Look at it right now. FFP and all this other stuff going on. You don't even see Chelsea selling their players.
We're trying, bro. We're trying to sell Broha to maybe either Wolves or Crystal Palace. We're trying to sell.
No, but Wolves try to loan him, and
we need to
they
sell
denied
guys.
it.
Conor Gallagher, which I think is outrageous, to Tottenham.
Yep.
Chalobah, like a bunch of
Chalobah,
guys.
at this point,
I can see, but like these
go.
are players that we could have, like Bayern wanted him in the summer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he got injured, but he's injured the whole season. So
yeah,
we're trying, but man, it's gonna look tough for FFP. I hope we don't get 115 charges like Man City.
Yeah. If he were to go, like say, like Chelsea and Man U were actually an option.
They were talking about Arsenal too.
Oh yeah, Arsenal was all right. Let's say Arsenal too. What do you think the destination is?
Well, all three clubs can't afford him.
Yeah,
Arsenal already
but if they could,
imaginary scenario.
It's got to be Arsenal.
I think Arsenal. I was gonna say I think the perfect place for him would be Arsenal. Because you know how deep he can come in.
They're fighting for the league.
Fighting for the league. He fits that style where he can come in and create. Odegaard can go and play more forward instead of so defensive like how he's playing. Not defensive, but more defensive duties.
Yeah.
Benzema can come and take the ball. Saka, Martinelli, like how we were talking about with Tony earlier. I mean, it would be
as
crazy.
good as Benzema is, I think he goes to Chelsea and it might be the number 9 curse all over again.
Nah, not to Benzema. I can't
It's
even
very
see
possible.
that. I was thinking about that.
At
I was
his
like,
age,
no way.
though, at his age, it's very possible.
I can't have a Benzema.
He's not.
I mean, he's
a young guy anymore, man.
12 goals, 5 assists in 20 games right now in Saudi League. So, I don't know.
It's not bad.
We just saw Inter Miami face Al Hilal, the worst team in MLS versus the best team in Saudi, and it was only a 4-3 win for the Saudi. So that kind of tells you where the league is at right now.
Yeah, it seems pretty even to me. But obviously that transfer didn't happen. Seems like Benzema's gonna stay in Saudi.
Why did he want to leave?
No idea, man. I just think he had some disagreements with the coach.
I think he had disagreements with the previous coach too.
Yes, he did.
Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yeah.
He wanted.
Yeah.
Forgot. Nuno didn't even want him. I was hearing.
Yeah.
But he came in anyway. Then Benzema wanted a captaincy. That he wanted to captain, and Nuno was like, nah. Then they went on strike. And then new coach comes in because Nuno got fired. Problems all over again.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Now he's training by himself, not allowed to train with the team.
Yeah, man. It's tough to say. But hey, I guess he's getting that bag.
Yes, sir.
So those are some of the transfers that we were gonna talk about in this segment. Is there any other transfer on the top of your head that you feel like is needed? Like a player that needs to leave right now in their clubs?
Well, there's players that need to leave, but it's very hard for them to leave. Big and small names. Ivan Toney already talked about earlier. I think it would be great for him to leave and go to Arsenal. Chelsea will take him too. Osimhen, he said he's already made a decision on where he wants to go next. He said that he
I didn't know this.
He wants to finish out his year strong.
But didn't he just
Napoli.
sign an extension?
We know why that's
Yeah.
So the release
value
clause is at 100, 120 million.
Yeah.
But he did say that in an interview during AFCON. He was like, I've already decided where I want to go.
Could be Real Madrid.
I also heard him say something about a lot of players say the EPL I should go. I think that's a top league. So it could be an EPL club now.
Could
be an Arsenal. Could be a Chelsea. Could be,
Yeah.
Probably those two are the front runners.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
How about you? You thinking about anything?
Anybody? Before we recorded, I was saying Smith Rowe.
Oh, yeah.
I think Smith Rowe needs a place to go to because at one point he was getting a lot of game time. When him and Saka started breaking into the team, and he was scoring goals
before Odegaard came in.
Yep, but now it's like you got Jesus, Martinelli, Trossard. You got all these options, and he could play out on the left or he could play attacking mid. But right now, finding minutes on the team is very tough for him. Yeah, he played today, but he's a type of player that needs to play every game. So I think maybe I know Everton's having some issues with FFP and all that stuff. So I think that would have been a good destination for him.
Yeah.
A team maybe that he can go in and get a lot of minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think a team, like a mid-table team where he's going to play a lot. Similar to what we did with Conor Gallagher a couple years ago.
Yep.
So we'll send him out on loan to Crystal Palace. Became a much better player because he's playing more. Now look at him in the squad. He's the best midfielder we got as far as form. So something that Arsenal might be thinking about doing. But Arteta said that
Arteta's not letting him go.
Arteta said that they can't make any signings in January. It's impossible. So they want to strengthen their side, but the way finances are, they can't do it in January. So is that like a thought in the head, like, hey, we're going to do it in the summer. We're going to go for the Tony. We're going to go for the Osimhen. We're going to go for all these guys? Because we all know who they need. They need a striker.
Yep.
So things to look forward to.
Yeah, that is right.
So, if there's any other transfers that you're thinking about, let us know in the comments, and we'll definitely take a look at it and discuss it as soon as we can.
Yes, sir. That ends the segment. Let's go into the next one. And what's the next one?
Gotta wait and find out.
Yes, sir. So we have the last segment of the night. We're going to go over a few things that just happened in recent days with managers. Some actually left and some are actually leaving at the end of the season. But the first manager we're going to go over is Jose Mourinho.
The special one.
Yeah, tough one for me. I think Roma should just let his contract ride until the end of the year. I think they felt like some pressure to re-sign him because he really wanted to stay.
Wow.
He loved Roma. He loved the fans. He had a chance to go, coach Portugal, but he stood by Roma, and he wanted to stay and continue with the project. But his situation in Roma was different. It's not like these other teams that can go and buy whoever they need and get whoever they want when you have an idea. But his situation was different because of, the financial standings of Roma.
It's crazy, like, how much he loved that club. Like, and even the fans are connecting with him. For him to turn down his country's national team, which every big coach, like, that's their end goal. Klopp probably wants to go coach Germany one day. Pep probably wants to coach Spain one day. Zizou wants to coach France one day. Like, all these big players. That's a big deal. Like, it's not like he's already coached Portugal before or something like that. This was like, you don't know when this chance is going to come out because this is a chance. You're not going to get this chance when you're on the low. You're going to get it when you're kind of on the high. And for him to say no to that so he can stay at Roma is unbelievable, man. And it was shocking to me that they let him go. I know they were struggling mid-table, 8th, 9th place, but the guy's accomplished so much. He can change a squad around in a snap. Like, look what happened in Porto. Underdog team. Win the Champions League 2003, 2004. Chelsea. Yeah, there's a lot of money involved.
Oh, that was my stomach crazy.
But changed that whole trajectory of the team.
Yeah.
Getting players like Drogba, this, that, and the other. Real Madrid. Continuing the legacy. Inter. Stopping Messi, bro. Like, that 2010... best team in the world ever, stopping them in Champions League, winning the Champions League for Inter. Roma, winning them the first trophy in 11 years?
First Conference League trophy.
Ever.
And
then first in 11 years. I mean, a lot of stuff.
I think it's tough. And he almost won the Europa League. If he won that, they'd be in Champions League. I think the problem is that the owners want him to be in Champions League football. You know what I'm saying? Like, in recent years, there's been, like, different, Serie A winners. You had, like, who won it in the recent years? You had Napoli win it. You had Inter win it. You had AC Milan win it. And Juve, they won it. So they're, like, all these teams are winning it, blah, blah. Like, they want to be in Champions League so they can get those funds to be back in the market. And it's just tough. Like I said, in his situation, brought in guys like Lukaku and Sanchez, but Then you got guys that are hurt, missing games. Sanchez missed a few games. Tammy Abraham out, ACL injury. And that's a big guy in your team.
Damn, is he really out?
He's out.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think it's very sad. He seemed a bit emotional about it.
Very emotional, bro.
Yeah, so like I said, my opinion, I think they should have stuck it out until the end of the season, but they probably just didn't want to sign him because he's an expensive coach.
Yeah, he's an expensive coach, but like you said, just let it dry out into the season. It can't get much worse than what it is now.
Yeah.
And you got to look at the directors and the board and say, yo, you're not funding him to get the players to compete with the Inters and the ACs and the Juventus. I mean, Roma's a big club, but financially, in this climate now, they're not, like you said. So I think he needs to come back immediately. I've heard rumors of maybe Napoli, because Napoli's struggling. But we can talk about where he could go or where he should go.
I think Napoli would fund him too, and I think Napoli has, better quality players at the moment too. Yeah.
But would you go to another Italian club ever, let alone so fast after that connection you just had with Roma? Because like you said, it looked like it was emotional. He put a post up. I saw him tearing up when he was walking out the doors into his car, fans crying.
Yeah. That's tough to say, but I would say in his situation, why not? He's played in many clubs in England. He's played in Tottenham, United. Coached.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Why not? It's a job. Unless, if he has that special connection, don't go coach a rival.
So where can he go if it's not Italian league? What are the options and the probability?
I think the best options right now is Barca, because it's available. But my favorite option would be Bayern. And not that they don't have a coach right now. Obviously, Tuchel's there. But I just feel like there's a big possibility that he won't be the coach next season.
There is quite the possibility, and we'll get to that because, things could change in a snap of a finger like we saw this weekend.
Yep.
Just some crazy news regarding managers, let alone games and players and all that. But, I think Bayern's a good shout. Some other potentials could be some national team that's looking, like USA is looking for one. He's been in the rumors.
That's not happening.
It could happen, bro.
I highly doubt
I hope
that.
it happens. That would be crazy.
Chill.
But Saudi's always knocking on the door. I know he's rejected multiple bids. And I can respect that because he wants to stay in Europe and money's not going to sway him. So we'll have to see, but Bayern could look like an option.
He's touched down in many leagues. He's touched down in England. He's touched down in Portugal. He's touched down in, where else? Spain, Italy. The other big leagues he hasn't really reached.
France and Germany.
Yeah, so.
PSG a shout?
Why not?
If they don't do well,
why not?
If they don't reach far into the Champions League, if they don't win the league, which
it's not one of the best leagues right now. But you talk about, the team as a symbol,
status and all that.
Why not? They got the finances, they got everything that they need. They got Mbappe right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll have Mbappe, next season, but I think that'll be a good spot for him.
The president of La Liga said there's more than a 50% chance that he ends up in Real Madrid next year.
You think so?
No, that's what he said.
Yeah. Wow.
President of La Liga, he said it's up to Real Madrid. So I think they're just putting a little bit of pressure on Real Madrid to bring him into the league.
Yeah. All right. But, they got De Rossi coming in.
He's the coach now.
He's the coach. He's the coach now.
I didn't know that.
He was coaching at Spal and Serie B. They weren't doing pretty well. They were in second place in the league, and
second or second to last.
Second to last. And I think it's a strange one for me. You're bringing in a guy that's struggling right now and doesn't have much on his coaching resume, and then you sack a high-quality coach that brought you silverware.
Mm-hmm.
So, strange one for me. I mean, I was seeing that their upcoming fixtures are a little bit easier, so maybe it's like a way to like, all right, yeah, this is the best time for you
give him like
to
a
come
head
and
start.
settle in,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then again, Mourinho probably could have, reversed everything and brought the team a little higher in the league. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's my take on Mourinho and Roma. Sad. Now he's looking for a job.
On to more sad news.
Yeah.
We got another player, another coach, former player for this club, that's leaving the club as a manager at the end of the season, which was a big surprise for me. I mean, we've heard rumors of, he's not doing so well. Will he get sacked? He said he will be the first one to leave if anything goes wrong in the club, if they don't hit their goals. And it's Xavi Hernandez at Barcelona, which I'm sure for both of us and most of the people watching, it was a shock for him to announce it after a loss. They were winning against Villarreal. They were losing against Villarreal 2-0. Came back to take the lead 3-2 and ended up bottling the whole thing, losing 5-3. I watched the second half of that game, and I was like, what is going on in this world?
Yeah.
And Barcelona just looked weak in the back and looked unorganized. And Xavi took full responsibility for that and took it a step further and said, I'm not the right fit for this job. And it's more than him not being the right fit. This the pressure that is involved with it. The media, all that stuff.
Yeah. I agree. But also, I think it comes down to having disagreements in the back room, with the president and then the sporting director, Deco, like they probably have a different vision and it doesn't match up with Xavi's vision. And that makes your job a little harder. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to organize a team and shape them into playing this formation or playing into this style, and you got guys that they probably want coming in and doesn't fit your,
right,
your style at all. I think that's why he mentioned like there's so much tension, how he feels like what was it, not being respected, or like even just the mental drainage of being on the team. It's draining, bro. I'm not a manager, but I could see how it's draining, because if I'm the manager and I got people in the back room that they're not backing me up, they don't see my vision, and they don't also like remember what I've done.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
like
not
like
even
you're gonna sit there like, damn, man, like there's nothing I can do to like gain their trust.
Yeah, and the crazy part, the president of Barcelona, Juan Laporte, he was the president when Xavi was a player at Barca.
Yep.
And let's not forget, Xavi was just not a player. He was the captain. He was like, one of the big faces of the club back when he played in like the early 2000s up until like the mid 2010s. Like you said, not trusting what he's done in the past as a player, but even as a coach last year, winning the league, Copa del Rey winner, and he's taken up a team that was in 9th place with Ronald Koeman. He came in the middle of November and said, you know what, I'm going to work with what I got, and got them into first place, conceding 18 goals or 20 goals in the whole season?
Yeah.
That's unheard of, especially with a team that's not really yours. So we got to give him some patience, and he got in first place last year, but we can't hold him to that standard of first place, especially with the competition that's in that league. Real Madrid, Girona going crazy. Atletico Madrid is always going to be behind your heels.
You got to put it in perspective, too. Like, Simeone, how long has he been at Atletico Madrid? He's been there for a freaking
years.
lifetime.
12 years.
Ancelotti just signed an extension. There was rumors of him going to Brazil. He's been there for a little while. I think this is his second time coming to Real Madrid, right?
Yeah, second stint.
So, Xavi needs more time, even though he brought you success. And especially when you're having problems in the financial department and they're not doing terrible. They're still in the Champions League. I think they're top 4. I would say, trust him, stick with him, and the team thrives. But then you have all this tension. Now it's the manager, the directors, this one, the players.
Yeah.
And the project, you can't move swiftly at all.
And what sucks about that is that the board, Deco, Juan Laporte, all these guys, they're saying one thing to the cameras, but behind closed doors, they're probably saying something totally different. Hey, listen, bro, Xavi, you're sucking right now. We need you to do something or else you're going to get fired.
Bro, I heard there was even talks telling him change the lineup.
I did hear that too. Even for the USA friendly game, like they were facing Houston, somewhere in Houston against Club America, they said you need to bring certain players and play them. Yeah, like you're saying, they need to play because we spent money on them or whatever. And
I think they're talking about the João Cancelos and
Felix and Lewandowski. He has a clause in his thing if he doesn't play enough games.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I think it's like if he doesn't play like 55% of the games more than 45 minutes, he has a release clause or he can terminate his contract or something like that. But like these are all players that does Xavi really want them, or is this like a boardroom staff instead of a coaching staff? And let's look at where Xavi comes from. He comes from La Masia. He comes from Barcelona. He knows the ground roots, the club better than anybody else. Yep. He probably wants to bring that club back to where it should because we know what Barcelona was really like, tiki-taka and all this beautiful play.
Of course.
I can't remember the last time
I don't even feel like it's like that now.
It's not.
Like you see it at times, but like back in the day, we seen it throughout the whole game. It was a non-stop. Like it didn't stop.
Yeah.
All 90 minutes. And I personally I think Xavi, he's 44 years old. He's the guy for the long run, and now, you just kind of hurt the relationship a little bit. He probably never come and coach for Barca ever again.
Oh no, never. And they were asking him in the interview because after the game is when he decided to resign. They were asking him, well, other clubs have had big managers and this, that, and the other, like Alex Ferguson for Man United. Did you think you were going to be this or whatever? He said, Barca will never have a Fergie. It's impossible because of the media, because of the pressure, because of all these things you guys put on the manager. You don't allow him room to thrive. And I found that very shocking.
That. Yeah.
And then a few days later, like I think yesterday, he's even saying things like, oh, man, I was going to say something. What did he say? I forgot. But, he made his decision of him going to leave in the summer. So he's announcing it now. He wanted to leave in the summer. He already knew he was going to leave this season. So now I'm kind of questioning Xavi's integrity. I'm like, if you knew from the summer, why didn't you say something in the summer?
Maybe he just had so much love for the club, and he lied to himself and said, you know what, I'm going to stay here and I'm gonna stick with it. It could be that. You never know, because the amount of love he has for that club, it's crazy, bro. It's tough. He probably would have been like, he probably thought like, yo, maybe we can turn around. Maybe the relationship could get better. Maybe we win the La Liga. Maybe we do this and we do that. But it is what it is. He probably just reached his breaking point and just said, yeah, I gotta announce this and I gotta move on and I gotta leave it alone.
I think what happened is he knew there was no point of return with the board.
Yep.
So he said, I'm gonna resign before I get fired.
Yeah.
That might have been what was it. So
yeah. Sad news, but
now for the saddest news.
Yeah. So the saddest news for me at least, dude, Klopp leaving Liverpool. It was funny, our group chat of a couple of my friends, we were just talking. I was like, yo, there was a reason why I probably couldn't sleep last night. And then, I woke up, bro, 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I'm just like, you know what, looking at my phone. Then, boom, I'm like, Klopp leaving Liverpool. Bro. And I was like, nah. I kept refreshing the page. I'm like, dog, this shit really for real. Like, my man's really leaving.
Similar, I was 6 a.m. I woke up, and I saw you guys posting all this stuff in the group chat. I'm like, Klopp, and it's like 6 a.m. I'm still a little groggy. I'm like, nah. I shut my phone off. I woke up like a half hour later, 6:28. I remember, these are the type of moments you're like, what were you doing on this day? What were you doing when this happened? Like, when Klopp announced that he's leaving, I'm going to remember what I was doing. I was sleeping, and I woke up, and I was like, no way.
Yeah. I couldn't sleep that night, bro, and I was just like, yo, I've been getting good sleep, too, feeling great, and I'm like, yo, it's the connection, man. It's the connection. That really hurts, being a Liverpool supporter. I'm not surprised. He said it in the past that, he'd want to take a break from managing and, stay with the family a bit.
When did you see that happening, though? Because I really didn't see that after making all these signings and all these players
It's tough.
leaving.
It's tough. It's tough. Like right now, it's a surprise. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it was gonna happen sometime down the line, especially with his contract ending in 2026. Yeah, it's sad, bro. The amount of things he's done for us. He's won everything possible.
Yep.
He's a legend of the club. He's gonna be missed, and now the club's going to have to go in a new direction. We're going to have to get a new sporting director. We're going to have to get a new coach. We're going to have to get a new coaching staff. And, Klopp did everything he could. Like when he re-signed, he made sure like his coaching staff got a raise.
Wow.
Yeah. They brought in an extra $2 million for the coaching staff.
Wow, that's what's up.
But, as far as like, the gameplay now, I feel like the players are they're gonna be fighting for more now.
Yeah.
They're in first place. We're getting players back from injury, but I feel like in the back of their mind, every time they play, they can be like, I'm a little tired right now. They might like not have that push, but they're gonna boom, Klopp is leaving.
It's gonna give me 2019, 2020 vibes from Liverpool.
I hope
man.
so. I hope so.
I think that's what's.
I really hope he can go with a bang and win the league or win something, but league for sure, because I think that will bring him more push for his status.
Yeah, and just fulfillment. Like like I've done everything I could for the club. I brought the first Premier League and championship in 30 years. I won the Champions League first time since 2005. Someone that they pretty much took a gamble on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't the biggest name out there in 2015 when he first came.
He was a big name, but not the biggest.
The biggest is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
When we lost Brendan Rodgers, I was like, damn, man. Like I like Rodgers, but then when I heard Klopp, I'm like, this is a guy I would want to come to my team because what he did in Dortmund, man, he's a project type of guy.
Yeah.
You got a project? I got this. I can do this.
Yeah, because I remember like back when we was playing that Bayside, there was one tournament we went to and we had to watch Bayern versus Dortmund Champions League final.
Yeah.
And I remember Klopp was in there. I was like, what was that, 2011, 2012?
I forget.
Something like that. But that was like all memories that he's the face. That ugly face he makes, that fist pump he does to the crowd after they win. All of these things, style of play, press and gagging press.
Yep.
But one thing I really noticed that I'm going to remember Klopp for at Liverpool is like his man management style. Like how to actually put your arm over a player and encourage him and get the best out of him. I don't know if there's a coach better than Klopp because he's done it with young players, older players, and everything in between. High profile, low profile, and he found a way for the club to accept the player and have the player gel in the system.
Yeah, man, it's sad. He's the type of coach that gives everybody a chance to play. I feel like we got a lot of youth players playing right now, maybe due to injury, but also maybe due to like Klopp seeing something in them, and some things are gonna just stand out to me. Like I remember when he first came. The run that they had in the Europa League, that comeback that they had against Dortmund, crazy comeback, 4-3, emotional game because he's playing his former club.
Remember
and
that,
we get
right?
the job. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember the goal from Louvron, bro. And I was running up and down the house, bro. Down.
I was in college. I was in the library, and I was I don't know if I should say this live, recorded, but I'll say it. Doing some illegal streaming on the on the computer.
I don't know what you're talking about. Cause
I was doing that, and we was on the phone. We're like, "Yo, what is crazy? Liverpool, blah blah." Just memories that, like you said, and he's gonna leave you with. Even the 4-4 Barca. That's something we'll never forget.
That one I won't forget at all.
Yeah.
4-0 the last game. Even like that first game, I was like, "Yo, that loss definitely not deserved at all." Bro. But we came back. We won a Champions League. Man,
Do you have the list out?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Read it, and then we'll see. Like, we'll talk about it. Because
Let's
some of
see.
these games I don't remember, but as a Liverpool fan, I'm sure you remember a majority
Yeah, I
of them.
remember this one right here. This Norwich 5-0, 5-4 win against Norwich. The 4-3 win against
That was
Dortmund.
crazy.
The 4-3 win against Man City.
That was crazy.
I believe this one was like I think it was in Champions League, right? I think we played them in Champions League and we advanced.
Was that?
I believe it was this one.
Because it says January 14th, 2018. That's during the Premier League.
Premier League? All right. But I remember we played them in Champions League too. And I think we moved on, but maybe that's a different
Maybe
game.
It's just April 4th one.
Yeah, look, UCL, yep. UCL,
yep.
Champions League, 3-0 against City, the 4-0, the 5-5 against Arsenal, 5-0 against Man U, 9-0 against Bournemouth.
That was the last year?
And a 7-0 against United. And yeah, man,
7-0 against United. That was an abomination for Man United. That was a crazy game.
Yeah, man, we've played a lot of good games, and there's gonna be there's a lot of memories.
The last one, you remember this one?
Yeah.
When Richarlison scored, started doing all these celebrations.
Oh yeah.
And Jota came and scored.
Yeah.
I
remember that.
That was epic, man.
Yeah. Nah,
That was
man.
epic.
As a supporter, man, you can't be mad at it. He's a human being too. Like this guy, he's just like any regular guy. People are probably, there's so much speculation right now. Oh, is there another job that he wants? Does he want to go to Barcelona? How about just let the guy rock? Let him finish the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let him say, he said that he wants to be with his family. Let him be with his family. And if he comes back into managing, yeah, he'll go somewhere. But I feel like if he does, he says right now he doesn't see himself being a coach, after this. But if he was to, he'll never come back to England.
He'll coach again, and he might come back to Liverpool.
If he does, I would love that. But I think if he coaches, I think he goes to Germany. I think that's one destination that he really, really wants to get to. Germany definitely needs a coach.
Talking about the national team? Or
National team.
Okay, yeah.
National team. I think he would love that job. I think there'll be less pressure. He's not always on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool, teams like this is clockwork, bro. Liverpool, the Cities, Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Madrids. You're not stopping, man.
He's been a manager for 24 years, and he signed a contract extension for 3 years now, but he's drained. He said that he's ran out of energy.
You can look at him and you could sense
when he
it.
started to when he looks like he aged 20 years.
Yeah,
it's almost like a president.
Bro, it's crazy, right? In 2015, the guy looked like he was in his early 40s.
He looked like a professor, bro.
And
now
then
he looks like an elderly man.
Now he looks like he's in his 60s, bro.
It's tough.
I mean, bro, I promise you, I really love Klopp a lot, man. This really hurts, bro. It's going to be hard for me to watch upcoming games.
Who replaces him?
Man, the only person that makes sense for me right now is Xabi Alonso. Now it's up to him if he wants to come. Bayer Leverkusen, he's doing good over there. And now it's a question too. Does he want to leave when the team is doing so well? They maybe win the league. Now they hit Champions League. Now that's more money to go spend in the market. And honestly, I don't even think they have to spend more money. I think their team is good as it is right now. But Xavi's a good coach. He has his father, I believe, coached in the past. He's gotten coached by very good managers in the past. So, his IQ for the game is there. He's a Liverpool legend, I think it makes sense. And I feel like if he comes as a guy for the long run, we're not looking for a coach that's going to come in and be here for a year or two. Even Klopp said, he can do whatever. He was not getting sacked. That's the truth. Liverpool were not going to let him go.
Yeah, there was no way he was going to get sacked, bro.
But that's the thing, though. That's why I love the Liverpool culture. We stick with each other, through thick and thin. You know what I'm saying? If it's very bad, then I guess it's different. Because don't get me wrong, there's been managers that have gotten sacked. But Klopp, where he's, done something where we didn't have much, and he built a team, and our team is like this now, like, bro, they were never gonna sack him, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting who they hire next because, like you said, Xabi Alonso is in the conversation, but do they want to take him someone that's out of their realm already? You know, do they want to go someone that has more experience, whether in managing or in the EPL, like De Zerbi? Do they want to pick someone that's in the same style that Liverpool has adopted, or are they going to have to start from scratch? These are all questions that the board is going to have to ask themselves and see what they're going to do. But it's going to be interesting, man.
It's tough because now...
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen.
You think they stick with the same like pressing style and get a coach that can fit into that mold, or just have the coach take over and be like, hey, this is your club now, do what you want with it, change the style?
I think they would have to keep the same style because it's working right now.
And the style of players, too.
And, yeah, the style of players, too. You know, a manager could come in and they could see Trent and say, hey, I'm not a big fan of you. Here's the bench. And now you got a Liverpool academy player leaving Liverpool. You know, that's the type of guy you need to stay in Liverpool.
Yeah.
For as long as you can.
He's going to be the captain in a couple of years because Salah's going to be on his way out in the next couple of years.
Virgil
van Dijk's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
He's the captain.
But, like, even Virgil, you know, like, his contract's up soon in 2025, I believe.
They asked him about it.
Yeah.
They said, what Klopp's leaving, you know, your contract is ending up in 18 months. What do you think? He's like, oh, I can't tell the future. I don't know. There's certain possibilities, blah, blah, blah. Like, very vague responses that's not giving a lot of confidence in Liverpool fans.
Yeah. But then again, you got to be honest, too. Like questions like that right now, I feel like is not necessary, especially to the players.
But you know the media.
Like, yeah, the media, yeah, of course. But, you know, everything is blown out of context. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he had to come out and say, like, yo, like, you know, I didn't mean it like this and I didn't mean it like that. Obviously, my loyalty stands at Liverpool and all that other stuff. But, you know, Trent being out of contract soon. There's going to be a lot of changes in the upcoming years. And I think Klopp really stayed because, you know, we were in 5th place last season. And he's probably like, I can't leave the club in this manner.
Well, he said in the summer he still felt good. He said it was like around November when he started feeling it.
Yeah.
He's feeling these strange, like, I'm tired, I'm drained, I can't do this no more. So,
but now he brought us to a first place position. Now I feel like, he's like, all right, I feel comfortable leaving. I'm leaving the club in a good position, and if he does win the league, he does leave the club in a good position technically, but we're still gonna struggle because that's just reality. We just lost, like we just said, our every year, we're losing something. We're losing the Bobby Firmino. We're losing Sadio Mane. These are the guys that was the face of our club at one point. Hendo,
Firmino, not Firmino, Fabinho.
Fabinho, and now, now you got to be, like we said, realistically, Van Dijk is on his way out. Salah probably got a couple more years, but maybe on his way out. Now he might go to Saudi because if there's anyone that's going to keep the guy around and convince him to stay, it's Klopp. Yeah. Klopp loves Salah. If it wasn't the case, Salah would have left a long time ago. He could have left a long time ago. They could have got a lot of money for Salah.
Yeah, they could have got $150 million this summer.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the future looks like for Liverpool. I'm just looking forward, until the very end. Let's get this, Premier League and have them go out with a bang. And now we also go to a cup final against Chelsea.
Yep.
Now we could win another cup.
And that's the scary part as far as a Chelsea fan, because your next game is against us. It's going to be tough, especially because it's going to be at Anfield. It's going to be outrageous. Number 2, I think Liverpool will go through some growing pains after Klopp leaves, because every big club, like when Ferguson left Man United, they're still in the growing pains. When Wenger left Arsenal, it took until Arteta came to start getting some traction.
And that was a long period.
A long time ago.
Yep.
Hopefully for Liverpool fans, it won't be as long, but we're going to have to expect it could be years until we see Liverpool back on this level.
Man, there's always a transitional period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your time, you have this team, but, these guys don't stay young forever. You gotta... That's why when you make those transfers here and there, it helps. Like, Sabaslo, all these other guys coming in the midfield,
they came in, they did the job really quick. So now you're like, all right, cool, our midfield's okay now.
We have that. Let's
Yeah,
focus
we have
on
this core.
some small things instead of
Yeah.
a full transition.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So imagine if Klopp still didn't have a midfield and he left.
That's leaving the club in bad hands, man.
Yeah,
In bad
yeah.
shape.
But he's done everything he could for
Yeah.
the Liverpool Football Club. He'll be missed, and he will be forever loved.
Yes, sir. Klopp, you'll be missed for the entire footballing world, and hopefully we'll see you soon at another club or somewhere in the footballing world.
So that concludes our session for the night. Great session. Please like, share, and subscribe. Reach out to us if you want to come in too and chat with us. We're open to new faces coming in, and thank you for watching.
Viva Cabo Verde!